Hi, I'm Arnie Duncan, Secretary of Education, and I've always tried to champion anything I think that can make a real difference when it comes to helping students fulfill their academic and social potential. And that's why I'm a big, big believer in the promise of learning technologies. This isn't just about doing things online that we used to do with a pen and paper, and it's not just about connecting classrooms with the wider world, although that is really important. It's about offering teachers powerful new ways of identifying whether their students are struggling and how to reach them before it's too late. It's about giving our best teachers the chance to teach more students in more places. And it's about offering all of our students a personalized education tailored to their individual needs, an education that's never before been possible without hiring an individual or private tutor. These kinds of cutting-edge technologies hold extraordinary promise. Countries around the world understand that, and that's why they're pushing the boundaries of what's possible with learning technologies. And the question for all of us is America going to lead, or are we going to be a laggard? Are we going to follow? And we know America must lead. I know some folks may be skeptical that technology offers a silver bullet for solving the problems in American education. The truth is we all know there are no silver bullets when it comes to education. But with technology, we can more rapidly ramp up opportunities for excellence and equity through personalization. I've seen it in classrooms, and I've heard it from educators. Technology can be an extraordinarily powerful tool for helping teachers teach and for helping students learn.
Hello, my name is Bill Smith, Assistant Superintendent of Kent ISD, and I'm here to share with you a proposal that I'd like to get your feedback on that is originating in our collaboration committee for KESA, which is the superintendent's group to support teaching and learning and student achievement throughout our county. This proposal is built around a concept that's somewhat unique, and as we look at trying to venture forward, we'll see how this goes. So a little bit of technical difficulty. So what is this? It starts with a little piece of clay. Like any it starts and then it starts to take shape with an idea. Evolves into a question. That question then becomes an idea to get the wheels turning. What if then we can, and it will be better. All leaders in instruction that care about kids have this same thought process. What if? And if we can do this, then we can, and then it'll get better. So, starting with our small conversation and small conversations throughout, what we're talking about here is an idea that's molding. The idea takes a shape. The question becomes specific, and a plan formulates. After dialogue, analysis, reflection, it takes form. What started as an idea evolved into a question and then into a concept, takes in some ideas through a collaborative process, and here we are. The result is a finished product that serves a purpose, created through a collaborative process that began with an idea. So it's a little bit of an update of the journey. The Collaboration Committee has had some success along their journey in supporting busing and transportation, the food service or beverage consortium, diesel fuel and cost breaks, bid sync process, always seeking to make sure that the price is right. And the results have always been an increase in efficiencies that equal an increase in money for kids, so kids can learn. That's always been our bottom line. So as we go through this, this is the idea. Bottom line, kids need to learn. How can the Collaboration Committee create efficiencies that support this learning? How can this efficiency and instruction help us? That's their question. Can we go beyond just dealing with the pavement, the rocks, the ground, the gravel, all those things that are distant from education, and can we get it to the point where it's more than just the external factors? Can this through efficiency supported through the Collaboration Committee, equal this? Increased efficiencies leading to more money for instruction and learning, more time for instruction and learning, and more resources for instruction and learning. How can we help facilitate the transition of the what? As we roll out the Common Core, we want to go beyond the what we teach and lead to the how that we teach, the how of instruction. And that's where we struggle and where I think the Collaboration Committee can become a great benefit. How do we get from this, the old school Bloom's taxonomy of higher order thinking skills that just simply range from knowledge to evaluation, and more towards this, which is the 21st century world, where we're talking about the top of the scale would be creating, and keeping creation as the key component in our instructional process. How do we get to this new version of Bloom's taxonomy, where we talk about the HOTS, or the higher order thinking skills, this somewhat complex feel, but we know that is essential in today's 21st century learning environment to allow our children to be competitive. So how do we get to the 21st century instructional how? And our collaboration committee can support efficiencies in instruction by supporting teachers who are digital immigrants, and I'll spend a little time talking about this. The tools that they need to meet the learner needs of today's students, these digital natives, are a lot different. I'm a digital native. If you look at this photo, how many people have seen these YouTube videos that talk about this? He learns differently, this digital native, and they therefore must teach him differently. The Bloom's taxonomy in the modern world is much different, and you can see it here in the blooming butterfly wing. And this is probably the most critical slide to understanding the differences. If you look at some of these areas, the digital native, which is our kids today, versus our digital learners and these digital immigrants who are many of our teachers, there's a different way of looking at things, and this one's probably the most critical, the processing order. Digital natives look at things from the picture first, and then video and sound, and that leads them to text, whereas processing order is much different for our digital immigrants, who are many of our teachers. It comes from a text-based picture, video, and sound. Oftentimes you can see this manifest itself, for example, in curriculum craft or in our data warehouse, and the tools that we provide, which were intentionally provided for the emerging digital learners, the digital immigrants, but therefore have little to no value to our digital natives. Allocate a lot of resources here that don't really get back to here. So if you look at this chart, this is probably the most important piece to be able to take a look at. How are we going to engage this type of learner, this type of kid that's in our schools today? Global citizens, investigators, they want to experiment, they want to create, they want to do things not like we used to do them, but the way that they're accustomed to in their life. How do we get that pyramid of Bloom's taxonomy to include all these Web 2.0 tools? How do we get our teachers to become comfortable in using these things to be able to reach our learners? This is a valuable slide. What I try to do is once a week make sure that I've developed a skill set in one of these other many things. Prezi, Glogster, even utilizing my own YouTube channel. These are ways that as a teacher you can evaluate how you're reaching the digital immigrant. How can we do this without looking like this? And this is our fear. I mean, it's the fear of myself, it's the fear of collaboration, it's the fear of about everyone involved in education. How do we do something different that we know will benefit kids without it looking like the old Airbus? If it's so complex that teachers will not use the tool, then instead of these wonderful classrooms here of the 21st century where it's hands-on creating, using technology to drive individualized learning, we're going to end up getting this. And we've had a whole lot of that. And how do we get beyond that? So how do we make this a seemingly complex tool for teachers to serve the learning needs of digital natives? How do we make it much like feel much like a textbook of yesterday, this digital textbook, so it meets the needs of our teachers, but also more importantly the needs of our students. And good versus great design is a great source to be able to take a look at some things from the outside looking in when it comes to education. I think that we have to have some thoughtful reduction. So how do we make it be able to provide our teachers with great, effective access to common formative assessments, so that they can actually utilize these assessments to drive instruction? How do we help them roll out the Common Core so they get beyond the what and start teaching it, focusing on the how? How do we get to the blended learning format that we know that using a diagnostic tool to drive instruction and create individualized learning so that we can get the efficiencies of best practices? How do we evolve beyond our normal textbook and replace those textbooks that are dinosaurs at the time of print into a digital textbook that can drive instruction for digital learners? How do we get to the point where we can embed credit so that students in one course can see the alignment of multiple strategies through multiple courses and achieve credit? How do we fix the issues that we face, whether it be summer school credit recovery or acceleration to allow individuals to be able to get an associate's degree before completion of high school? So how can this IT do this? Has anyone else done it before? Yeah, the answer is yes, they have. Here's an example of one framework that kind of replicates what we're talking about here. And to me, looking at this from my old teaching background makes me feel like that. It's like an Airbus. Here's another one. And this one takes a little bit better approach to it. It shares with some ideas, but it's still not put together on one platform. It's kind of a hodgepodge, and how do you get from the instructor to the learner without it being an Airbus? And then there's this one. This is a holistic solution, and again, it focuses on the key issues of the problem, but it does not empower the digital immigrant, the teacher, to serve the needs of the digital learner. It's better, but it's still this. And again, nothing we're going to do, we're going to be able to do it without a lot of passion. I know that there's many people with passion to reinvent this, and we definitely are facing a lot of problems, and that's a great opportunity for us. These obstacles that stand in our way, oftentimes it's us that's the obstacle. So if we can take a look at it with an open mind and approach what we can see here, I'm sure that we can come up with an idea here. This idea is taking shape. The plan formulates, and we need to be specific about it. How can we get teachers that have to meet the needs of learners, a visual learner, auditory learner, kinesthetic learner, all these learners, how do we get them the opportunity to be able to succeed in one class? And again, how do we do it without it becoming so complex? And do we really need to have an explanation of this tool, or can we provide one tool that can be used in many different ways? Again, this is something that we're not going to be able to do if we start watching the clock. It's going to take a lot of intensive effort. And we oftentimes are sabotaged by our own memory, our own instinct, and that's kind of status quo messing with us. So how do we take this idea? How do we get it to the point where all of us who are instructional leaders are talking about the what if? What if we do this, and then we can do this, and then it'll be better? So what is it? It's a digital learning platform that allows students, teachers, and parents to access Common Core content, packaged in a variety of formats, including standard-specific video archive teacher-taught lessons. These lessons could be from our local teachers uploaded, standard-specific online common formative assessments, summative assessments that give teacher one-click feedback to how they can support students linked to standards, providing data to teachers to support learners, driving instruction, making sure all is individualized with efficiencies on specific standards linked, while assisting other learners to go deeper. Just give this example. Red means a student didn't do well and we need to give them supports. Blue means they did very well and we need to give them more opportunity. How do we do that? This is a portal for document sharing, course readings, interactive communication with students, teachers, and career professionals, not bound by time or place. Textbook replacement tool for teachers and students, a credit recovery acceleration tool, a tool to be embedded with to embed credit within another course, a supplemental tool to allow for quick teacher-friendly data analysis in order to modify instruction. What will it do? It will be a source of digital content aligned to specific courses and standards within the Common Core curriculum. It will be a resource to teachers linking existing standards-based lessons in Curriculum Crafter, a modified Curriculum Crafter intended to be viewed by more than just teachers. Provide best practice research lessons to teachers, and provide standard-specific assessment tools aligned for data to easily collect, analyze, and link to standard-based content specific to each student's learning needs. Truly diagnose where students at, and give it an easy way for teachers to be able to say, hey, you need this, and I'm going to give it to you, and here's where you can find it. It can serve as a tool embedded credit, another course supported by content specialists, allowing for student credit-bearing opportunities beyond those limited by seat time. You can form ways to be able to use technology to support learners' needs at their time, flipping a classroom, doing the things that are necessary for a digital learner to be able to access instruction from a variety of sources. It can serve as an after-school tutorial, credit recovery, credit acceleration. This is something that we can do not in replacement of the teacher, but to enhance the teacher. can serve as a tool to allow for students to expand credit-bearing opportunities, allow for flexibility in schedule, expanding learning beyond the limitations divided by time and place. Again, learners of the 21st century learn in different ways, and we have to teach them differently. It can link to the data warehouse and curriculum crafted in a way that allows for easy access by everyone, making these two areas, again with the guidance of, especially with the data following FERPA, allow parents and teachers and students to see exactly where they're at and where they need to go. Link them to the best instructors in the world, through the technology that's available to us. Why should we do it? I think that being data-driven, research-based, and student-centered instruction is the best practices model for increasing student achievement for all. And if we don't focus on those areas, then all students will not achieve, and that's just what research tells us. We want all kids to learn. They are the focus and the centerpiece of what we do, and we need to support all the things that we've aligned to be able to meet their needs. And we know that, yet we don't have a tool that links student content-specific data to research-based best practices and instructional strategies. In essence, we continue to guess because we don't have a tool to diagnose student-learner situations and how they learn best and how we can teach them best. So this diagnostic piece is essential. We need to get it in the hands of our teachers and do it now. So why create it? I don't know. Create an online learning program falls short on the ability to link the aligned sources available to students and teachers. We don't have it yet. E2020 is not the answer. It's a packaged format that doesn't connect with the learners as well as I think we can. Online learning platforms do not integrate well with data warehouse and other data collection tools to make this feedback to be able to support the teacher. As a standalone, it might work, sufficiently, but standalones only serve a few learners, whereas a tool like this, when applied correctly, can serve all learners. Again, we need to meet the needs of individualized learners supported by a content specialist. That's what has to happen. Online learning is not the replacement tool or the answer to our problems. We need to be able to produce linked access for each student to resources specific to that student's standards and content deficiencies. Imagine the day when you can look at your smartphone after you've taken a quiz immediately and get the remediation that you need via a digital platform. We need to be able to create a way to allow parents to translate existing programs into the way that allows us simple access to get to this information for kids, parents, everyone. It's simple to use, simplistic in the way that we change how the instruction is delivered. So how will this benefit teachers? Depending on the manner that we utilize it. Teachers will have an up-to-date digital textbook that includes standard-specific common form and summative assessments, a textbook that teaches, a textbook that has the what already embedded so the teachers can focus on the how, allowing for an effective diagnostic instructional plan for each student. Based on student data, scores on specific standards can drive teacher-directed and or student-directed standard-specific instructional experiences. So we teach them based on what they don't know or what they are interested in knowing more. Student performance on each standard can be linked to digital lessons. Students will have access to digital textbooks and learning from all different places, so students will definitely have a benefit from this. It will have opportunities to communicate with teachers, students, and career professionals, making learning relevant and engaging. The conversation never ends. It will be an opportunity to accelerate, either as a standalone course, so it'll be enough to have to stand alone, or a diagnostic credit recovery, or an embedded course within another to be able to provide flexibility for students. Now, how will it help parents? It will allow parents to engage in the learning process of every of their children in a meaningful way so that they can communicate and work as a collaborative partner. As parents review student achievement data from common form and summative assessments, they can see what their children know and be able to be part of that. They can see what their children don't know, and they can link that to the specific standards that are available there. They can actually walk through this with them. They can work with their children for the process of remediation or in-depth enrichment exploration based on data. It will provide a point of commonality and understanding for parents to engage teachers and their children in the learning process so that they're part of this equation. Again, we have many ideas, and there's a lot of people who want to start things, but I think this is one of the ones that is worthy of finishing. So, and as we go through this, these are some questions that I'd be interested in getting some feedback on. Do you believe it's within the scope or mission of the Collaboration Committee to focus on the how of instruction? And if so, you can text your responses to this area. Next. Do you passionately believe that Collaboration Committee could continue to explore this IT process? And if so, send us a text and let us know where you think this should be. Again, do you believe there is a value in exploring a common platform that will allow the opportunity for county-wide common formative and summative assessments linked to the data warehouse? And if you do or don't, there's a text code there for you to be able to text your response. Do you believe we should link student achievement data to archived lessons in Curriculum Crafter and make them accessible via smartphones and web browsers? This is an important idea that would really change the portal of where students can receive their instruction. Do you believe there is a value in exploring the creation of a common platform aligned with the Common Core that could serve as a digital textbook? And I'd appreciate your feedback on that. Do you believe there is a value in creating a prototype of it in order to explore further the benefits and challenges? And what I mean by prototype is give people an opportunity to kick the tires and see whether there's value in it. And if so, what input would you provide to make that value of a greater asset? And as we start to close, we have great opportunities here, and it shouldn't be one of those things where in the end we wish we would have. So I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your feedback. Good morning. My name is Bill Smith, Assistant Superintendent at Kent ISD, and I'm just trying to take a couple of moments of your time to share with you an update on our IT Learning Portal, a product of collaboration through our Collaboration Committee, Secondary Redesign Committee, and a tool that I think will really reshape the way we educate kids and give us an incredible advantage for our students as they challenge 21st century skills. So I'm going to log in here with my email password. And this was a critical point because we found from teachers that they wanted one point of login so they didn't have all these complicated pieces. And I will share with you what this looks like once we get inside. And I'm going to log in here. This is the cover page of what the logo would look like. Obviously, we haven't added some curriculum yet, but this is a login as a student. If I were a student, this would be my name. Up here would be my student dashboard. This would take me to my home. It gets me to log out. We have yet to determine a title, but this is what I see when I get there. This is my virtual backpack, so to speak. So as I get in, I can click on what's overdue. I know exactly what's there. I can click on what my assignments are. I can click on what's coming up so I can help manage my time. And I can view all of the messages that are communicated with me by my classmates or my teachers. Again, this is my virtual backpack. And the great thing is, this is the same virtual backpack that you as a parent, if you are working with your child, can see. So let's enter the virtual backpack. Let's open this kid's backpack here, and let's see what Algebra 2 has to say. So when they open up their backpack, they get a chance to see this is their entering their course. Now again, remember the IT tool can be a replacement for a textbook. It can be your common formative assessment as a teacher, that whole package. But basically the IT tool does everything. And it provides the gateway to digital learners. And again, it doesn't replace teachers. It enhances their ability to be diagnostic. And you can use it as little as just as a textbook for your course that they can access all the time, or you can use it as a standalone process for credit recovery, okay, or embedding courses. So in this course here, the top is very important because these are my standards. These are standards associated with Algebra 2. It tells me and my parents and the teacher my performance. Anything in red would indicate that I have not been capable of showing proficiency there at this time. So as we go through, we can see these areas. Now again, this isn't live yet, But in each one of these areas, these would be digital lessons that would reflect the best of the best in Kent County in teaching these specific lessons. So this will be built by our teachers for our students, and our teachers will be the ones that will raise the bar in instruction. So let's explore the first lesson in this course. So as we visit this, this is the main lesson that the student would get, and again, it's just like opening your textbook. This allows us a common level of instruction that is exceedingly improved if we can find the best teacher who teaches this area. And again, that's open for debate, and we'll continue to review, but it creates some incentive to be who's the best and who can teach this lesson and connect the best, and that's available. But as a teacher, I also upload additional content for my learners, okay? And this is a very important part of the puzzle, because every time a student shows a lack of proficiency, they're redirected to more resources to continue to help them be able to show that they can gain proficiency. So you can include PDFs here, Word documents, Google Docs, different types of video lessons, screen captures, so forth. And in addition, everything that we do is data driven, so there will be an assessment associated with each lesson. As I click on this, this was just a sample to that lesson. It's timed if I choose to do so. It's built in the same concept that Common Core assessments would be. Students would forward progress themselves through this, simply answer the questions. And here's the great part. The minute I'm completed with this assessment, I can get this feedback. The teacher gets this feedback, and so does my parents. This comes in any portal. Right now I'm using a PC-based program, but I could simply use my cell phone, and if I were to look into my cell phone, I can do the same and show you the same type of piece that's here on all these other aspects here. In fact, let me see if I still have that available. So if you see this, this is actually, I don't know if you can see that, but there it is on an iPhone. Same portal, same entry point, same navigation. So depending on what your portal, it's Android based as well. But the key thing here is I can go through this. For example, I've expanded out this area. Again, it's not live, but this shows all the questions. It shows what I got right, what I didn't get right, what the correct answer is. And through this process, I get immediate feedback. And when I click on for more lessons, it brings me back to that original page. So as you look at this, our IT tool, from the login page all the way through, this is, and this again here would be a principal piece or a teacher piece, any message you want to give and connect with kids. This can be standalone, this can be supplemental, embedding credit, you name it. It is our first kick the tire piece with the IT tool. And as we do that, I also want to show you what the teacher version would look like. Much, very similar, but this is the teacher version of that lesson. The teacher can upload and collect the best assignments they feel are there. Students can provide comments on those assignments. They can comment on the lesson. Teachers can comment on the lesson, so you can have continuous feedback there. The teacher sees the listing here of students with all their data, again, color-coded. This is performance by course, so they can see the standards that their students aren't doing well on, and teachers then can target what those lessons are. It can show you quickly and navigate quickly all the students that have assignments due, any messages from students, and again it creates this portal of communication, exactly what our secondary redesign committee has sought out through the data we collected with our student surveys, empowering our students to be part of the learning process. As a teacher, I can go through and click on each one of my students to find out where they stand. As I do that, I can see and sort this data by low to high based on standards. I can expand out the details to see which ones they don't know. I can target instruction for each student. I can group these students based on their needs, and also students that have already shown proficiency, I can give them assignments that take them beyond. As I look through this, I can drill it down to the specific student and know exactly where they're at. I can actually email or text this information to a parent with attached assignments so that parent can know what their child can be working on. As I look at the lessons themselves, I can input and break down these lessons. You can see that there's an add tool, an edit tool. There will be base lessons that are included that we will create collaboratively to give some common formative assessment baseline curriculum experiences so that we're all testing the same things. And each teacher can upload additional assignments that they create or others have created so that they're in a collaborative process. Again, the professional learning community connections here are tremendous. So as you look at this, these are the things that our teachers will have in their hands to be able to drive instruction that's individualized and targeted, diagnostic in nature, and timely. It connects the resources that are available all around the digital world to digital learners. You can see the different population here and how the teacher will be able to navigate this. Again, these are just screenshots. This will go live here hopefully by October 20th. We'll have a demo available for our superintendents to review. Again, very excited about this. This piece basically will allow us to reinvent education. And not that it needs to be scrapped, but our kids need the best opportunities possible. So thank you very much. I look forward to your feedback.